It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, South Missouri. It is Friday, July 31, 2020. It's Friday. Yay! He's going to fix the camera. It's Friday, July 31st, 2020. It's 7 a.m. He's adjusting the camera, and you're going to see in this box. Can you see your box? There's the box. Can't get out of the box. Senator Flippo.
I don't know, so know if putting the camera on me is fixing the camera.
You know what's scary is when you walk in some place and they aim this gun at you, say, click, you're normal.
Yeah.
Like, really?
So we've been doing that, my assisted living facility since, early mid-March, and temperatures are just not the best way to kind of gauge.
Yeah.
Because by the time you're showing the symptoms, you got a temperature. It's generally, you've already got it.
It's like, I'm normal, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome down on the corner program. Dale Hoffman, your Scooter Callis over there. He's in his box. He can't get out. Can you get out of your box?
I'm good.
He's good. Anyway, we're brought to you by your local hometown Sears store at 1029 Highway 62 East, 425-3191. The very best in home appliances, home entertainment, lawn care equipment, tools. What am I missing? You name it, they've got it. Your local hometown Sears store, 1029 Highway 62 East, 425-3191. Then they also have in-house repair. Remember the good old days when you could take an appliance into Sears and get it fixed? TV, radio, washer, dryer, range, refrigerators, He does it all right here, and he's got this maintenance agreement plan stuff.
And that's the great thing about, dealing with locally owned businesses. Which, a lot of people see Sears as a national corporation, but what they don't realize is the majority of the franchises are locally owned.
There you
by
go.
People
Couldn't
living
have
in your
said
community.
it better. Couldn't have said it better. Locally owned. JR, I think he lives somewhere. He was somewhere down around Calico Mountain View, something like that, down in Stone or Izard County. Does a great job. Bend over backwards to help. In fact, he had a service call Northwest Springfield one day, helping some folks out. This is why we want to invite folks from Marion County, Fulton County, Izard County, Howell County, Ozark County. Come on down and visit your local hometown Sears store.
You bet.
You've used Craftsman tools before.
Yeah, I have. And I was actually in Sears, it was probably about a year and a half ago, looking for a vacuum cleaner. And
I forgot about that.
So, I was looking at this model, and it was a couple $100, and I was telling the lady in there kind of what I needed it for. It's like, at the time I had a dog, and she goes, well, you don't need this one. It's going to be more than what you need. She actually talked down. She downsized me.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, that's just the kind of people that you're working with and you're dealing with.
Got
and
what you needed.
looking out for the customer. And
There
so I
you
really
go.
appreciated that.
Your hometown Sears store, 1029 Highway 62 East, 870-425-3191. The very best in home appliances, home entertainment, vacuum cleaners, like the senator just said, tools, Husqvarna lawn care equipment, in-home repair, Craftsman tools. You can't beat your hometown Sears store. Once again, 425-3191, 1029 Highway 62 East, up on the hill behind Wendy's. They're in the same parking lot as Orson's, out in front of Physical Therapy Connection. Your hometown Sears store. Senator and I are enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. How's it coffee today?
Phenomenal.
Listen to that. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. 3 locations to serve you. You've got Baxter Regional Medical Center. You've got 62 East Plaza. You've got Bomber Boulevard. The very best coffee in Mountain Home is Brewed Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're drinking muddy water. Talked to Mike a couple of weeks ago, and everything's doing good. You got the hospital lobby. You got Bomber Boulevard, 62 East Plaza. You get your mochas, your lattes, your frappuccinos, your pumpkin spice.
You bet. I do my part to keep them going. I usually hit that Bomber Boulevard location.
Do you?
Probably average once a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, with school not in session, with the C-19 stuff going on, it's kind of, things change a little bit, but hopefully things will be back to normal. So check out Brewed Awakening Coffee, the very best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. I'll tell you what, he's built a nice little business.
You think about that. To have 3 locations in a town the size of Mountain Home.
Yeah, with a
says something.
Starbucks
Yeah.
stuck in
I mean,
Harps.
that's
he's got Starbucks in Harps, yet he's got
Sure.
3 locations, and he started out right across from Flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right
I remember that.
Yeah, that little muddy
bet.
drive-through. Now look at his locations. I mean, he's
You
got
bet.
some really nice places there by Acumen Audio and Bomber. And then, out there in front of Anytime Fitness there at 62
I
Plaza.
wonder, because as I said earlier, that I stop at that location probably once a week. And you mentioned, it's with school not being in session right now, I was like, do kids drink coffee now? The kids in high school now and, drinking coffee and all these other things. I went, through all of college and didn't start drinking coffee until I was probably 24 or 25.
Oh, yeah, I did start drinking it until I was in my mid-30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, check out Brewed Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and the staff do a great job at all 3 locations. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes right here at Mountain Home. Talk to Brad, Bruce, Charlotte, Chris, anyone there can help you. Across the state, there's 29 Roller Funeral Homes to help you. One in Memphis, Tennessee. Great folks at Roller. Caring, loving, understanding. They know what's going on. Let them help. Let them help. Just let them do their job. This is what they do. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, that's how they do business on a daily basis. And so, wow, can't say enough good things about Roller Funeral Homes. They bring the morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today I want to pray for the families that have lost family members and loved ones in battle in wartime to protect our country's freedom. Men and women have served this nation, giving their life to ensure our freedoms of people they have never met or never will have met. Yet we have those that want to protest by insulting the families of the fallen heroes, by kneeling during our national anthem and watch our flag honored. This is not protesting, Lord. This is a slap in the face of those that have died. Lord, I pray that those that are disgruntled will learn the truth, quit blaming others for the issues that they can solve if they just try. Bless and heal our people, heal our nation in the virus. It's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And we're blessed today to have a famous trumpet player right over here that's going to do the trumpet for the weather. Ready, go.
Am I doing the bum 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 bum?
The weather.
Morning weather, my brother Z. Yesterday you attempted
Like deer in headlights moment. I'm like, oh, I'm doing the trumpet.
Who are you talking about?
Yesterday I told him I was expecting Mick Jagger to get Eartha Kitt. Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora. Did you see the award that the Z Team has won?
I did.
They've got the very top honor in the Century 21 corporate world. I mean, this thing is bigger than an Oscar in the movies.
Not surprised. I mean, if anybody that knows Bob and Linda and the kind of people they are and the kind of business people they are and the kind of attention that they give to their clients, it is not surprising.
And then, we talk about folks that moved from Chicago and want to change things. Bob and Linda came in here and became an asset to every community, whether it's Marion County, Baxter County, Stone, Fulton, Izzard, Searcy, whatever. They came in, hey, what can we do to help? Where do we fit in? And they joined the team.
And I think that's probably true of the majority of the people that are retiring to this area.
Yeah.
That they come here and they retire here for the same reasons that those of us that grew up here choose to live here.
There you go. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team, for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. RetiredToArkansas.net. Time to take a peek at the river. Yeah. Look at that, Scott.
It looks good.
Pretty sharp.
How would you like to have that in your back door? Jeez.
My stress level might go down a little bit. Blood pressure.
You're too young for that.
Oh, gosh. I'm getting my physical next week. I got to go for a physical next week, and I was supposed to have it today, Dale, as a matter of fact, and I had, forgot to put it on my calendar, and so I had to call this week and say, I've got to reschedule.
There you go.
Last time, I was scheduled to be on, and I had to go to Little Rock, and I was like, I just can't do it.
We know the feeling, Scott. It's all right. We know.
So now it's like, like everything that you think is, that might be an issue, it's just basically going for the confirmation of it.
There you go. To ease your stress level, log in to RetiredToArkansas.net. Look at the live webcam. Cameras mounted in Marion County, Arkansas, looking into Baxter County and Cotter, Arkansas. The beautiful White River, the bridge on the left side of the screen, the little baseball park, railroad museum right there in the front. Contractors Trust to the right as the river comes around the bend there. Beautiful shot this morning. Some cloud cover, a little bit of clear skies there. And beautiful shot. You can go to RetiredToArkansas.net, pull up the little camera icon, take pictures throughout the day, show them to your friends. or just enjoy the beautiful shop. Brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. The Z-Team is ready and assembled to help you, whether in Arkansas or Missouri. From Marshall to Mountain Home to Mountain View, Arkansas to Mountain View, Missouri. Back over into West Plains. Excuse me. In Gainesville area, you name it, they can help you. Arkansas and Missouri. The Z-Team, the award-winning Z-Team. Once again, 870-405-0793. Right now, we're not too bad. It's just kind of sticky outside. It's 70 in Mountain Home, 72 at Harrison, 72 at Batesville, 73 at Salem, 70 in Calico Rock, flipping at 71. Marshall at 70. West Plains a little bit warmer at 73, but St. Louis is down to 69, apparently with some rain there. 75 in Poplar Bluff, Springfield at 71, but Watford City, North Dakota at 63 degrees. The radar, we have to refresh this like every 30 seconds. This is a really good radar. It's very detailed, but it doesn't stay
Of course.
lit. Doesn't stay lit very long. All right, here we go. We got the national radar showers in Montana and Washington State. That's about it there. A little bit of shower activity in West Texas into New Mexico, and a little bit in southwest South Dakota there. Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and parts of Texas getting showers, as well as on the East Coast around Washington, D.C., and on up towards Boston, Massachusetts. Won't affect us here, so let's take a look at Arkansas and Oklahoma and Tennessee. Shower activity on I-49 down around Texarkana, also affecting I-30. Then we have shower activity between Texarkana and Fort Smith, kind of going from the east central part of Oklahoma all the way up into about Searcy County, Arkansas. And we have the usual shower in northwest Arkansas right there. So your highways affected today be Highway 412 east and west. We got a little bit over around the Salem area, Sturkey area on the state line here. A little bit around Jonesboro affecting Highway 63, Interstate 555, and possibly Highway 67 as you go to Walnut Ridge, Newport, Tuckerman, Corning, and Pocahontas there. I-30 probably the biggest, it would be the most affected right now from Little Rock, Hot Springs down Texarkana, and I-49 down there in north of Shreveport, Louisiana. Zoom in a little bit closer here and just see. Probably need headlights on today with the wipers. I think is that state law? Lights on with wipers on? I think it is, yeah. Then on up into Missouri, you got Highway 63 up towards Salem, Rollin, that area up there. Highway 60, 160, what other highways am I missing there? Probably Highway 63. Looks like I-44 with a little bit of shower activity, but on up around Kansas City, I-70 socked in. I-49 from Joplin to KC, I-70 Kansas City towards St. Louis, and a lot of rain along the I-70 corridor. I think that's supposed to drop south, and that may be what we're supposed to get later today. Over into Illinois, around Belleville, Fairview Heights, Cahokia, DuPont, and that area there. I-64 East St. Louis, Illinois, towards Mount Vernon. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. I-57 at Carbondale, I-24 at Carroll, Illinois. Paducah, Kentucky, light showers there. All right, not too bad. We could use some more rain. The national scene, we have a flood watch box from Kansas City all the way across the southern part of Missouri, kind of that L shape there. Southern Illinois, western Kentucky, southern Indiana, parts of Ohio, going on into Virginia, West Virginia, with a flood watch box all the way to the East Coast. So 7-day forecast for us today, 90% chance of showers, tonight 50%. Sunday is a 20% chance. Saturday, Sunday, 20%. We got 20 and 30% all the way through Monday. 81 today.
Nice.
I hope. 81, 85, 83, and 80. So we got some cooler temperatures according to this. All right. Checking I-Drive Arkansas, no accidents. Traffic moving good. Little Rock, Memphis, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, everywhere's looking good there. State of Missouri, don't forget Highway 201 North turns into Highway J. And they're working on Leak Creek Bridge. It's probably another month and a half of working on it. So be careful. If you're visiting the Twin Lakes area, you need to go to Springfield, use Highway 5 to 160. You need to go to West Plains, use Highway 101 to 160 and turn right. State drought monitor for Arkansas, the northern half of the state experiencing some abnormally dry, with southern Baxter County, Searcy, and Stone counties in the 6-county area. In Missouri, it goes on up towards the Kansas City area with a moderate dry, abnormally dry. It also includes the Boot Heel of Missouri. I talked to my cousin there at Kennett. And they need some rain. They've got cotton and soybeans, and even some of those have converted to rice in the extreme Boot Hill, and they're having to keep the fields flooded over there. Bull Shoals Lake level 686.65. Level is 27.65 feet above 659, the normal pool. Norfolk Lake at 570.59, which is 18.59 feet above a full pool of 552. Oh, the four-letter word coronavirus. Around the world, 17.5 million total cases. We have active in the world 5.8 million, almost 5.9 million, with 5.8 million at 99%. Only 66,302 in the world are critical. That's not enough to fill Notre Dame football stadium. State of Arkansas, the report for the 6-county area: Baxter, Marion, Searcy, Stone, Izard, and Fulton. We have 49 active out of 222 positive. The population of Baxter, Marion, Searcy, Stone, Izard, and Fulton is 104,900. 22% of the positives are active with a 77% recovery rate. Out of the 222, 171 have recovered. We have only 49 in the 6-county area that are active: 16 in Baxter, 5 in Marion, Searcy with 3, Stone with 13, 7 in Izard, and 5 in Fulton County. Oil prices today: Western Texas International Crude at $40.05, up 13 cents a barrel. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 226 yesterday, dropping to 26,313.65. And but that's still a strong economy, even with COVID-19. When you're running, we've dropped to 18, come back to 313.
Yep.
And I anticipate, that'll go back up to where it was in the 29,000 bracket. Morning weather. All your updates are brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. retiredarkansas.net. And Mr. Shyness is our guest.
You know me, always struggling for words.
Oh, I tell you, aren't we both? Time for a break. The Senator is our guest. Senator Flippo is our guest. Be right back.
during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-through window for all your to-go and pickup orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands in appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora of the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredarkansas.net.
Driftwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you. Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. When you're 7:20. My next guest is really shy. Maybe we can get him to talk. How you doing, Senator?
I'm well. Good morning. Happy to be with you all this morning.
It was good to have you. How'd you like my reminder yesterday?
I always appreciate your reminders. I mean, you know, every once in a while you'll say something clever or witty, and I appreciate that.
Dear Lord, bless his alarm clock.
So, I mean, for the 2 people that might not know the backstory to all this,
yeah.
You know, 4 years ago when he was on the radio, I actually overslept and had to rush in. You know, you wake up and it's just like, you know, you wake up and you're like, I know, I've just start rushing. So I rush to the radio station. You know, I don't brush my hair. And so, you know, I get there and I'm 15 minutes late. And so.
Oh, by the way, I saved a picture from back there. No.
Phenomenal. Get in line.
I think, though, the funniest thing, though, is when you were in session and I wanted to talk to you and I tagged everybody in Little Rock. And at 11:15, dang it, Dale! I had 95 people tell me to call you.
Yeah. I mean,
remember that one?
That
was so funny.
Well, yeah, it's just odd because I'm not on. You know, a lot of times I'm not like on Facebook during the day, especially if I'm you know working or doing something or in Little Rock at meetings.
That's one of them days where we had 90 little different meetings
we're in
going
session.
on.
Yeah, so we're in session, and so
committee after committee.
You know, probably like 10 or 12 people come up to me. It's like, you know, have you got a hold of Dale? And so, not knowing that you've tagged me and all this, tagged everybody I know in Little Rock on Facebook and asked him if he's seen me because he called me or texted me that morning and I had not replied.
I gave you.
And I learned. I mean, like if you don't reply to Dale Hoffman within 5 minutes, get ready.
And then the best gag I pulled was just out of the blue, wished you a happy birthday.
I did that was funny. No, that was funny because I had probably 7 or 8 people wish me a happy birthay, and I didn't see your comment 2nd? On my page. It's the 1st of November. Close. And so I didn't see that, and I got on Facebook in the evening, and I saw several people to wish me a happy birthday. And so you were kind of like down on the notification, and so because you did it like first thing in the morning, like 6 a.m. And so I was going through her, replying, and this is like June, so like close to my birthday, and I'm like, I appreciate it. It's not my birthday, and no.
What I did on Facebook, I went, went all the way down, so you couldn't see the bottom. I just scrolled down and says, "I know it's not your birthday. I just want to see you explain this all day long."
Yep. And so no. I always appreciate a little. I always appreciate a little bit of humor.
Well, let's talk a little bit of Arkansas economics. How are we doing across the board? Let's take a look. We've got Northeast Arkansas. We've got rice. We've got soybeans, corn.
Mm-hmm.
Several years ago, some guys had soybeans, and they were running 103 and 101 bushels per acre. How's our ag-ride doing across the state? Do we have any thumb on that pulse right now with everything going on?
I can't speak as fluently as others. But, certainly in agriculture, my stepbrothers actually farm about 10,000 acres over in Mississippi County and just right, south of Kennett in the Boot Hill, Missouri. And so every year.
How much equipment does he have for that? That's a huge.
And, and here's the thing, Dale, by, today's standards, that's still a big operation. Now they own, I think, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 acres, which is really, that's, by anybody, I mean, it's good chunk of land, but they lease the majority of it. But probably in the circles they run in, they're small potatoes. You got these big corporations and people that are farming 30, 40,000 plus acres. And so farming's tough. And so this year was getting help for people to kind of get the to get the crops out.
You talked to Gary Tobar over there?
I've not.
Top-notch gentleman. He was over here, 3 or 4 weeks ago, running for seat 55.
Mm-hmm.
And
talk to me about him. I've not met him yet.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Gary Tobar, and he's got the blessings of Tim Griffin. I talked with Lieutenant Governor on Tuesday. But when Gary was here, and I'm glad you brought up Mississippi County because it's that area, District 55, and there's no other way that I can do this. I don't want to sound demeaning or derogatory, but you've got a larger African American population along the river, like you said, from Blytheville, you got Osceola, but I want to see those young kids, I don't care what color their skin is, but I want to see those children have the same opportunities in Arkansas as our children have in Baxter County with the fine schools here, whether you're Norfolk, Mountain Home, Cotter, Flippin, you've got West Henderson and Yellville, goes on over into Harrison and Fayetteville, and then we've got down here in Marshall. We got some fine schools here. And so Gary is saying, look, this political party has been in control for this long. Are you better now than what you were 32 years ago? Okay, why don't you listen to me and let's see if we can make these changes, because we're not going to just give you handout after handout. We'll maybe give you this and teach you how to do this, because you've got Big River Steel, Nucor Steel. They pay some decent bucks if you've got the training.
You bet.
So if I've got a skilled worker, I don't care what his background is. If he's African American, come to work.
No,
and you let them earn the same benefit. I mean, it's no discrimination. It's just the opportunities. What are your thoughts on that?
So, I think collectively, every citizen in Arkansas benefits when our young people are getting a good education.
Regardless of
race. So there is no isolated pockets where that's just going to benefit this area or this county.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a cross the board benefit to us, to us all.
So if you've got the third graders, let's say Blytheville, Arkansas, you take every third grader, I don't care what race, if 30% of them become successful as compared to what we're doing now in Blytheville, don't you think you'd see the benefits down the road?
Absolutely.
In Northeast Arkansas.
And so, now Blytheville's, certainly since the Air Force Base closed down, a few decades ago, has, been steadily declining in population. Now, relative to the rest of Northeast Arkansas, it's pretty, still a pretty decent sized town. But, you look at, my father grew up in Turl, which is about 30 minutes just right outside of Memphis, probably, 30, 40 minutes to Blytheville. Okay, that's right. And so, but they consolidated their schools with Marion, and so they shut down the schools in Turl and moved to Marion. Now, as farming and agriculture has kind of become more industrialized, you got more equipment.
Right.
That you've seen a lot of the small stores and other things, have shut down over the years, and so like when you're funding schools and you're looking to say you don't have businesses, you don't have a lot of homeowners in these areas, and so there's the one of the problems is and it's not viable to have oftentimes to have a school district in every single area, and so this is something that I think is going to take long term. You get your kind of short term, what are immediate kind of short term incremental goals we're trying to reach, but it also has to be coupled with a long term. And if you have to look at
2, 4, 6 year process,
you bet.
You're looking at a 15, 18, 20 perhaps, or 16, 18, 20, it's a generational turnaround.
And the big thing is, at 14, 15, 16 years old, I was not sitting and looking at education and thinking about how that was going to benefit me down the road.
Yeah.
Now, certainly my parents have both gone to college, and I always knew, my sister did as well, kind of growing up, that there was an expectation that we were going to go to college. Ironically enough, my sister failed out her first semester because she got a job at the mall and worked and didn't go to class, and so my parents pulled her out.
Really?
It set the tone for me, which was, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
There's a line, and if you cross it. And so, anyway, she went back to school about 4 or 5 years later, University of Memphis, did phenomenal, got all A's, graduated, paid for it, had worked the whole time. And so, but it's seeing where the benefit in the education lies. And so for my sister, she had always had a great work ethic.
But even, Senator, when you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, you're already developing your interest. I had already developed that interest in electronics like I'm doing now. And that's been 50 years.
Your foundation is built at that, during those ages.
So we had a science fair in 7th grade. This is at the Pontiac District in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and I made a 3-transistor radio. I won first place. Nobody had ever seen anybody make a radio before, let alone a transistor. And the transistor radios in those days were still back in that was 19 70, and you could still either get a tube set or a transistor set. You know what I'm saying? It was still either or, and I built a and I won, you know.
So what developed your interest into that? What kind of piqued your curiosity?
When I was 2 years old in 1960, my uncle was working for Famous Bar, which was a big chain in the St. Louis area. I don't think they exist anymore. It was Famous Bar. You had Sticks, Bear, and Fuller. You had Famous Bar, was like Macy's and Gimbel's in the day in New York City. But you had Famous Bar and Sticks, Bear, and Fuller. He bought one of the new portable Webcore phonographs. It was stereo, one of the first portable stereos built in Chicago, Webster Corporation. And he brought that home, and he taught me to play it at 2 years old. And I would play Johnny Horton's Battle of New Orleans. Remember that song?
I do.
Ironically, that song was arranged by Jimmy Driftwood in Mountain View that Johnny recorded. I have that original album, and I've totally rebuilt that phonograph. The chassis, the needle, the tubes, the capacitors, I played it the other day, sounds fine. From that point on, when my church in Fairview Heights, Illinois, allowed me to run sound, this is a church running 700 people on Sunday morning. I was 10 years old doing sound, 1968.
Would you just figure it out on the fly?
Yeah.
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 And since then, since 1968, somebody said, well, how many different consoles have you run? I sat down, I made a list of every brand of mixing console I've operated. When I bought my Tascam 3700 at the house, I'm up to 36 different consoles.
Wow. And this is, you say this like when you were around in the third grade?
Before I was 2 years old when I got the phonograph, and I was in, 1968, I'd be fifth grade, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you know, I think like first or second grade, I was probably just a year removed from eating Play-Doh. So, you know, I was certainly not, you know, assembling or building any phonographs or anything like that. Scooter, I don't know. Am I the only one over here that?
I did that in kindergarten.
Yeah, no, that's I think so. I said first, second grade, probably a year or two removed. Yeah, so I'm, you know, but yeah, I think that's where I was working.
Yeah.
Well, you're over here, you know, constructing and building things, and I'm like, you know, what color Play-Doh am I going to eat today?
We need to take a break. We're with Senator Flippo right after this at 7:32. Be right back. When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because they don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension. Handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
$7.36. The point I was making, telling you about what I did as a kid, is the fact that my church allowed me to develop my interest in that hour of a church service. And so, we were talking about Mississippi County. So if a child has an interest, maybe in third or fourth grade, you've seen these little doctor's kids. Well, Mama, look, I can hear his heart. They got a little doll, So if you've got an African-American girl in fourth grade and she thinks she could be a doctor, let her be a doctor.
Absolutely.
Let her be a doctor. And I would not be ashamed as a grown adult to have an African-American doctor.
No, but it's so...
I mean, it don't bother me in the least.
I would hope that it would not bother anybody. And, it's ironic because I see... and I can think last year when the governor was coming through, he stopped off, I think, in Flippo and Yellville and somewhere else, and was talking about the computer coding initiative, which has been very important to him, and I'm in complete agreement with him, and realizing where our economy is going to be in the future, where it's at now, and just how more intertwined to technology.
And see what they did at Mount Hope Public Schools, Dr. Jake Long, is just, oh my goodness, I think they've got 2 on staff to teach it now because it just accelerated.
Sometimes students can't see where it's applicable to them. Where if you've never left Marion County, you've never been outside your tiny hamlet, it's hard to see, how this class or, investing time outside of school to, to get better or more involved in something, where it's going to be applicable to you. And, I think that's something like a societal thing that we got to look at, is showing kids that this not be your circumstances today. This might not be a reality as far as, people that you have immediate contact with on a regular basis. But somebody's going to break that cycle, and it might as well be you. And so where they can see the relevant value in their own lives and the ability, if you're going to, the American dream, to chart your course, define what makes you happy, and get after it, and realize that oftentimes we can all be our own worst enemy, and the biggest obstacle that we have to overcome.
Right.
And self-doubt is a killer, but for folks that especially young students that just don't see where the benefit to them is in some of these things. And that was something where I think my mom took, and probably even too much enjoyment of watching me, struggle. And I was horrible with math and just hated it. And I'd have to sit at that dining room table for hours on hours and get it. I mean, I could do the long division. By the time we got to fractions is when I was like, eee.
Well, it bit my mind for a while too. And Senator, all of a sudden it just clicked.
Yep.
It just clicked. I was sitting in math class, and Steve, if you're watching, Steve Ogle in Maryville, Illinois. So the teacher said, describe, how would you put in fractions half? And Steve says, 500,000 over 1 million. And then for some reason, oh, hey, it's half. Duh. You know, it clicked. Then I was excellent for, but man, I'm like, I struggled.
But
I struggled. But thank goodness, because in my profession as a front-end alignment mechanic, when you're looking there, you need a half-degree negative, or you need a half-degree positive camber on one side and a quarter positive camber on the other side. You better know what your fractions are. You're going to have people driving in circles if you can't align.
Absolutely. So, one of the arguments that I'd heard years ago for Common Core was the teaching of critical thinking, and we've all had several conversations over the years about Common Core, and so I do agree that critical thinking is a necessary skill set in life, and however, not overcomplicating things is also a necessary skill set in life.
And I've seen Common Core math, and I think, are we driving from New York to Philadelphia by way of Albuquerque?
I've had a few friends that have kids, getting into 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and we'll talk about their shock when they sit down and start looking at this, and they're just relatively smart people, and they're like,
where do you go with this?
I didn't know the cat was supposed to be purple to get to 25. And so it's just, but it's this, so it's this also. It's like, don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it more difficult than what it needs to be. But there is benefit into critical thinking.
But then even in phonics, Senator, I was talking, I think it was with the faculty of Flippin schools, Tracy, who's superintendent?
Kelvin Hudson's is current. Yeah.
They were bringing back the old-fashioned phonics. Okay, CAT is cat, so could KAT, but you got to teach the phonics.
You bet.
But you put CH together with URC, church, it changes the sound of C, what they used to call soft C. They're bringing back, rather than picking up, say, James Boyette, it's James Boyette Calendar Bible, instead of word recognition, James Boyette Agent, they're learning JAM and the sounds and how to read that name. They're bringing that back. So that is more critical thinking rather than, oh, I get James Boyette Calendar right here,
Absolutely. And listen, phonics, reading yes. comprehension, literacy. I mean, these are just bedrock cornerstones of the foundation that are necessary to build upon, as you progress down the educational highway. And so, we've made some very great strides, and I say I give the credit to our educators, our teachers, administrators, superintendents that are really on the front lines working with these things with students that are diagnosed with dyslexia. And so when you and I, and Scooter, probably you, when we were coming up, you just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
And so you can see the progress that these students are making, and more importantly, they can see it. You go for somewhere where you were when you start 3 months, and then you go 3 months down the road. You talk to some of these young folks. They're so proud of themselves because they can actually see the progress that they're making. It's not a waste of their time, but it also gives them more confidence in themselves. Yeah. And so, but education across the board, and it's not just important in one part of the state or whatnot. I mean, it is, we all benefit when it's there. And ironically, one of the, working in long-term care with our seniors is, a few years ago, I had a lady that had her old textbooks, and it's like from the 1920s, and they were learning Latin in the 3rd grade.
Latin?
And they're in a one-room schoolhouse with multiple grades in there. And, at this point in time, it was this kind of, that education, there was a great this huge level of importance that was placed on education, not as much by, it's like parents. And if you talk to, it's like every single person, like their parents, like, oh, you going to school.
And I think, Senator, and forgive me, I mean, I think in the day, the Latin Mass in the Catholic Church was more prevalent. I think the local parish here does that, but I think that may have been an issue there, perhaps.
And so,
with all due respect.
But just talking about, being in a one-room schoolhouse, you've got 3 or 4 grades in there, and you got one teacher. And they're doing those things back, now they were doing these things back then. So, people were learning back then. Now we've made some great strides.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, it's important to kind of look back every once in a while when you feel like, you're struggling with something, and you can say, well, maybe this situation is not ideal, but, Think about 1922 and you're in a one-room schoolhouse, or, you know, everybody hates COVID and is ready to be past it. Can you imagine if you were around 200 years ago and you were living in Virginia and you're trying to make your way out to Oregon?
He said it first.
I know.
I lose. So do we. And I thought about that as soon as I was like, I'm already committed to saying it. So I don't know what the consequence was to losing that bet. And to your viewers, we had a little.
You'll find out after the break.
Fair.
Speaking of break, I'm going to throw you a curveball after this one. I got a serious subject to talk about.
So we had a little side hustle saying like the first person that brings up COVID loses. And
time for a break. Be right back.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing embroidery and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-through window for all your to-go and pick-up orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
.748, I want to change, I want to get Senator Flippo's input on this. A week ago Wednesday, I need to bring this up on my phone, make sure I get the name right. I was here with, of course, Scooter was here. We had David Etheridge, the prosecuting attorney with Judicial District 14, Michelle Steiner, Executive Director of Grandma's House, a forensic interview specialist, Child's Advocacy Center, based out of Harrison. She's putting in a home here on South Main, and I think it's almost completed. And I'll be honest with you, after David Etheridge and her spoke, sitting right here where you were sitting, I was sick to my stomach with the things I've heard about the sex trafficking issues and what's going on with children in our backyard. Southern Baxter County, down towards the Buffalo River, back over into Searcy County, Newton County, and I literally, I called a couple pastor friends and said, look, what I heard today is upsetting. And, you know, it's,
I
can't fathom, because in the afternoons, hey, I live alone. I've got a nice front porch. I got a breeze. I grab me a cup of coffee about 4:15 and watch the traffic go by. And there's kids playing on their bikes. They're on their little scooters and, you know, all this stuff. Senator, I don't think twice about their sexuality. John Montgomery said there one time, he said, when I get done here and I go home to take my dog to the park. I'm not trying to find out, oh, I wonder if that house has diamonds, emeralds, or rubies. I wonder if that's got Bob Dylan's first album. I wonder if they've got this. I don't care. You've got a fine home. You may have stuff in there. Good for you. Same with a scooter. I don't care what you have in your house. I don't want it. If I want it, I buy it. If I can't afford it, I don't get it.
Sure.
But the same token, I can't fathom this sex trafficking issue that is right here in our backyard.
Well, you know, my eyes have been open to a lot of things since I've gotten into the Senate, and you know, by virtue of conversations I've had with you know, educators, law enforcement, healthcare professionals in my district, conversations I'm having in Little Rock, and so I have had the opportunity to gain a little bit better understanding about a number of different issues. And you talk about sex trafficking. Now, these are typically undercurrents, so there's not something that's just out there, you know, publicly right in front of your face.
News.
Exactly. And so, but it exists.
I know.
And then you talk to, as you mentioned, Sheriff Montgomery or David Etheridge or other advocates, and that they are dealing with you know crimes like this, you know, on a all too often regular basis. And so here's my own assumption: these folks are deviants, and they got some kind of internal wire that's crossed, and they just are how they are, and they need to be gone.
Now,
and I'm sorry,
I have
like when you
heard, and I need to research this, that in the BLM manifest, that this pedophilia is another way to love.
Yeah, I you know, I've not seen the BLM, you know, manifest, and I'm not going to try to tie those two together, because I'll just tell you, like, we've all like heard an interview or seen an interview with somebody that, you know, is like, well, I'm attracted to, you know, to 8-year-olds. I never act on it, and I'm like, yeah, that's not right. It's just inherently goes against, I think, the vast majority of folks, every fiber of our being. I don't care. Black, white, Latino, Asian, it doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat, moderate. I mean, just it's one of these kind of unifying that we all look at, like crimes against children. And when you go to prison and you get locked up, even all the most hardened criminals, murderers, whatever, they direct that attention to these folks. And it's like, because even then, these people are despised. And so, you know, to me, is you don't have a bad day and molest a 4-year-old. That's just not a bad decision. Like, it is who you are, and I even don't even want to use the word person. It's just who you are. And, you know, so to me, I'm not trying to figure out how to because I don't think you rehabilitate that stuff.
You know, and when I asked the governor, when we were talking about the prison overcrowding, when last time he was here, I asked the governor, I said, Governor, is there a psychological test, or is there an evaluation that you can look at various people and the similarities? So I told that to Michelle with David sitting here. I said, where's the psychological reports on these people that desire a 5, 6, or 7-year-old child in a sexual thing? And it's just like, we haven't dug that deep yet.
I would not be the person that could delve into that. I just don't have the emotional or mental or just the capacity overall, you know, to try to, you know, put myself in a mind frame to, you know, to try to get to that place. Hey,
yeah,
I just want rid of them.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, it's like, I don't even want to spend my time going down that, those rabbit holes. Like,
sickening,
hey,
Scott. It's sickening. You know, I sit there a week ago Wednesday, you know, and of course Scott was sitting right here and he joined in the conversation. I literally, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I've got this knot in my stomach, and I call a couple of pastor friends of mine saying, look, I got to figure out what I just heard here.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you get the kids on heroin, and you think you've got a 7, 8, or 9-year-old child on heroin. Now, if you won't get your medicine if you don't do what I tell you. So they start going down cold turkey. They don't understand what's going on. This is their medicine. This is their vitamin, you know, and all of a sudden they're feeling whacked out. So if you do what they do, then you get hit again, you get another fix.
Like, listen, and so every aspect of these crimes is horrible.
We're speechless. I mean,
but the long-term implications of when a young child, anybody, but you start with a young child that goes through, sexual abuse, and it's taking place oftentimes, at the hands of someone they know and as a position of trust, and so it's this huge violation.
Yeah.
And and oftentimes it happens over a number of years. It's not they tend not to be pocketed, isolated, just once every 3-year incidents. And so it's hard for me to wrap my mind around to think how that impacts a child going through adolescence, coming into an adulthood, and then as an adult. And these decisions that they're making, and oftentimes you find out or you hear that people perpetuating sexual crimes sometimes have been through them themselves.
What's Arkansas law? What's the law look? I mean, what type of penalties do we have? I mean, this is more than just a slap on the hand.
Actually, it's probably 2 years ago. Looked at drafting a bill that was going to, make certain sex offenders, pedophiles, basically eligible for the death penalty. And so we have the Bureau of Legislative Research.
Hang them by one leg off the 62 bridge and let the Eagles pluck them.
I'm fine with that. No, listen, I'm not going to sit here and and worry about any. I was like however we want to dispose of them would be just fine with me. And so, but long story short, in talking to attorneys and trying to figure out the constitutionality of things, there was some case law that was established, and I want to say it was in Louisiana, years ago, that determined that was cruel and unusual punishment. And
what do we put in these cases?
And so I'm going to go back this year and look at, well, if I can't do that, then life in prison. I mean, basically, I just want these people removed from society because I don't believe that there is a fix or a cure. And also, I really wouldn't even care if there is. You do that to a young child, there is no to me, you don't get a second chance.
And see, Senator, you've even got the child pornography issue. And I talked to Congressman Crawford, and a lot of this stuff, a lot of the pornography issue is like the misspelling of a word, or I didn't enter it right. Make the porn industry go .xxx mandatory and not a .com or .edu or a .org for, like a church to be an organization.
Yeah.
And so if somebody, because it's protected under freedom of freaking speech. So if they want to look at it, you put in what you want, but .xxx and leave it out of the other suffixes after the dot,
And so and that needs to be, on these the sites that are hosting all these these venues, they're going to be at the because they're the medium between and I don't know how this stuff works, but whoever submitting these photos and doing these things is like, well, first of all, if you've got a site that has that kind of stuff, you better get to work. I'd be like, you got one chance to figure out some security protocols to filter this, to make sure this stuff doesn't get on.
Yeah.
Because inevitably there's plenty of sickos and perverts out there that are going to be.
A lot of this is coming from other countries that don't have the same rules.
I know. It's absolutely. And there's the internet.
Your hands are tied.
It's like these robocalls. Something about it. They're probably in Moscow. Or Budapest, it just.
I had on my phone, it popped up Afghanistan, and the memo was my car warranty had expired.
So the biggest thing I think right now even is you can't execute them, you can't incarcerate them for life. Make darn sure they're going into general population and they can stay there for as long as feasibly possible. I don't want them to just to be punished. And again, this is because I'm human. I want these guys to suffer. I mean, it's horrible what they do.
Yeah, I know. What do we got? We got less than a minute. I'm going to give you about 40 seconds. Final thoughts. Thank you for being here. It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure. I want to thank all the viewers out there for the opportunity to serve as your senator. Certainly, it's been some trying times lately. I just encourage everybody to be good neighbors. We're going to get through this. You don't need to get on the news and take your cue from government or from Twitter or Facebook. Be a good neighbor, and that's something inherently that the people in North Central Arkansas are well versed on.
Amen. Yep. The weekend is upon us.
Yay!
Yay! It's Friday.
I'm ready.
Saturday, yeah, me too. Yeah, maybe we'll get some rain real quick. Do I have a minute? What do I got here? I'm gonna bring up the radar real quick to see if we got any rain in the area. Ooh, let's see, refresh, see if it's moved in. I'm fighting the clock. Oh boy, yeah, we got a little bit in South Baxter County, just to the south of us.
Do we?
Maybe get some rain.
Do you ever get it like where it's actually moving?
Oh, yeah.
Because I kind of feel as like, if it's not moving, then.
Yep. Gotta run. Have a good weekend. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.